Hello guys, this is Mike from McProgramming.org. Welcome to the C++ tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about variables. And it's going to feel a little weird because we haven't talked about ints or floats or any type of data type right now. But we're going to talk about variables, and we're going to have to use the data type to explain it. So I didn't know which one to do first, either talk about data types or talk about what a variable is. It's kind of like the what came first, the chicken or the egg. And I think that understanding what a variable is will help us further when we come to what an int is, or what a float is, or what a string is. Alright, so one nice thing about C++ is when we declare some type of variable, we are basically dealing with the memory of the computer. So if I want to declare an int, which means an integer value, and the computer automatically knows that it should store a given memory location with a certain size attached to it. So if I wanted to say int number, I pretty much just I declared a number variable of type int. So if I wanted to initialize it, and I wanted to say number equals 9, what I just did was number is a fancy way of representing a memory location that I don't have to specifically deal with, which makes life a lot easier for me. So I'm going to comment below this, and before in assembler, you might have had to deal with hexadecimal numbers that represented memory locations, and those aren't fun to deal with. If it was, OX 00450H, I'm just making that up, but that would be a memory location, and we would have to know that and reference back to it all the time. But now, with this little bit of data abstraction, number is some type of memory in the computer of type int, so it has a certain size and takes up a certain space. And once we get to int, we'll talk about how much space and memory it takes up. And if we refer to number, we store this value 9 in that memory location. So if I wanted to print that out, we'll do cout less than, and I'll just say number and end it with a semicolon, and we'll run that real quick. Okay, so we printed out 9. So what a variable is pretty much just a placeholder. If you think about mathematics, a variable can change. If it's y equals x plus b or something like that, all those variables can change. And if I didn't declare this, number could be pointing to a memory location that already has some type of data in it. So if I wanted to print it out and I never did actually give it a value, it might give us some weird memory location item that was from something previous. So it's always good to declare the number or the value of your variables. So in this case, you can just do this, which is common, just initialize them to 0, so it doesn't really have a value, but if it gets called, it'll just say 0 instead of something it may have previously been. So let's declare it as 0. I don't always do that. I mostly just do int number and then semicolon because I know when I'm going to be using number later on. But let's just do it equals 0 for now, and we are going to cout. We will ask the user to enter a number. So let's say, what's your favorite number? In that statement with the semicolon, and we will input, well, I'll do that on another line, tab over, and we will do a cin and extract what the user enters into number, and then we're just going to print that number. So let's run this. Alright, so right now number equals 0, but when I say I'll say 17, I hit enter, now the number is equal to 17. So variables can change. There are ways of setting it to a final number, and we'll get to that later. But for now, just know that a variable represents a memory location and stores some type of value in that memory location. And this, just having it called number, is a lot easier than having it as binary 0 and 1, which is machine code, or hexadecimal assembler language. So that is a nice way of dealing with memory. And join me in the next tutorial, and please subscribe below. Thank you guys.